Returning overseas Filipinos who will deliberately violate existing quarantine protocols may face tougher sanctions as the Bureau of Quarantine partners with the National Bureau of Investigation to go after them. This is in line with President Rodrigo Duterte's directives to ensure border controls and quarantine protocols are being followed. So far, 4 returning Filipinos have been identified for breaking quarantine rules. 2 are now facing charges while the BOQ is preparing to file complaints against the other 2. One of the violators allegedly faked their quarantine certificate and the other did not follow the isolation period. No other details were provided by the BOQ. The agency warns that it is strictly monitoring quarantine facilities and that the NBI will file appropriate charges against those who will disobey the rules. The Overseas Workers Welfare Administration meantime expresses doubts that overseas Filipino workers or OFWs were involved in the quarantine breach.
May violations. But what we are trying to confirm is whether or not an OFW was the one who violated. They are boarded on buses, and throughout that whole process, nandiyan ang Coast Guard, Philippine Coast Guard. And of course, dahil airport, may airport police din dyan and PNP. They are taken to quarantine hotels. Pagdating doon, nandun na naman ang Coast Guard at ang COA house parent. So, bababa sila, check-in yan isa-isa. Nandiyan na rin ang hotel security, di ba? And in light of recent developments, PNP is roving naman outside.
Speaking of quarantine violations, the PNP-CIDG reports that the preliminary investigation on the case of Gwyneth Anchua, also known as Poblacion Girl, is set on February 7th and 14th at the Makati City Prosecutor's Office. The CIDG meanwhile has yet to give an update on the case of another quarantine violator, a Filipina from the United States who allegedly skipped hotel quarantine and proceeded to her condo unit and even availed of massage services. Tristan Udalo, CNN Philippines.